Good morning. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. Apologies for not looking at you. I'm trying to post, but Instagram is shit this morning. Oh, give in. How are we all doing? Welcome to twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and as you can see from the pre-recorded video bit, that it's Thursday, the 2nd of September, 2021. That's not meant to be there, so let's ditch that now. How are you doing? I am just gonna copy this link, and then I'm going to throw this in the chat. There you go. If you're in the chat, please do me a favor. Click on that link and just share that tweet, just to let everyone know that we, excuse me, are live. How are you guys doing? If you're in the chat as well, do feel free to let me know that you're here. Just like Tito did with the lurk. Hey, how you doing? Well, I said like he did. He did drop in to let us know that he's kind of here, not that he is here. Yeah, nice. Also, shout out to West, who dropped in the chat 1 hour ago to say hello-ish, a little bit before we went live. We appreciate you. How's things, West? And Madge, I'll rate. Okay, I give in. I am just sharing that as is to our story on Instagram. Instagram just does not look to be... Well, sorry, but something went wrong. Yeah, Instagram looks unhealthy at the moment right now. Don't know if it's the same for you guys. It's chugging. I give in with Instagram. It looks like it's having a bad day. Aging Superhero, how's things, dude? Luke Bastille, good morning. How are you doing? If you are in the chat, please do feel free to get involved over the next hour or so. If you're watching this on demand or listening on demand, hey YouTube, hey Spotify, how you doing? Hey. This is a one-man show, so if you are in the chat, we do stream this live on Twitch. If you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved over the next hour or so. If you don't know what this is, who I am, why we are here, well, my name is Graham. Hey. I would usually say I'm joined by Bibby, and he would usually be in a box like here. But he's not here because he's having a week off. So this is usually a two-man talk show where we go through the biggest, the best, and breaking stories from the world of video games. We give you our thoughts and our impressions on those stories. And then we want your thoughts and your impressions on those stories and our thoughts and impressions. We want a discussion. Which is why it's important, if anyone is in the chat, you do get involved. Because you guys, now more than ever... are important. You guys get involved in the discussion. So I can't bounce my ideas off Bib. I can bounce them off you, and you can bounce yours back, and we can have a discussion and go from there. So, like I say, it is important because we do stream this live on Twitch. We go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. Ish. Massive emphasis on the ish today because it's 2 minutes past 12. 2 hours and 2 minutes late, but it's fine. We got the news. Better late than never, right? So yeah, we do go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish, but that live stream gets turned into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast that goes on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there's 5 different places at least where people watch and listen on demand. So if you're in the chat, please do feel free to get involved. On today's scoop, I didn't actually mention the name of it, so I'd usually go, I'm joined by Bibby. We are ice cream, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is the scoop. But, you know, it's kind of true ice creamy fashion. Before we do jump into the news, let me give you a couple of reminders. First things first, you have, what day are we on? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days left before the loot drop is drawn. If you don't know what the loot drop is, if someone can just type ! loot drop, all one word in the chat, you will get the information right there. We give a giveaway, we give a prize to one of our subscribers each and every single month, just a way of saying thanks to everyone for the support. And this month's prize was a vote. It came down to a vote to choose between, did you want a copy of NBA 2K? Did you want a copy of Kena Bridge of Spirits, or Kena Bridge of Spirits, whatever it's called? Some Muscle Moose items, or some ICU merch. And once again, the ICU merch won out. So if you fancy winning one of these, it's kind of blurred because it's in the background. That's the Ice Cream Uploads esports jersey. All you need to do is be a sub on Monday. This is a good point for me to mention as well. Don't forget September. So if you are looking at subbing to a channel, September you do get discounts, and I think you can stretch those out. I haven't looked into it, so if you were thinking about subscribing to this channel for a long period of time, that would be incredible. You don't have to do that, but if you were thinking about doing that, I would emphasize looking at September, because if you're going to support a channel for a longer period of time, it does make sense to do it this month because you get big savings on extended subs. Not a sales pitch. I mean, we do benefit from it, but genuinely not a sales pitch. The reason I say not a sales pitch is because I do that exact thing. So, sure, for example, I'll say it because his name's there. He's just WhatsApped me, which I'll read that in a minute. Wes, thank you very much for the host, and Lake, just as he mentions it, thank you very much for the Prime. 10 months, baby. But yeah, as I was saying, I use my subs, my rolling Prime, not my rolling Prime, my monthly subs. Obviously, if I can get 6 months with like 30% off, then that's 2 months free kind of thing. So I will do my subs in September. So yeah, genuinely saying that as myself. Don't feel that as a push to make you your sub, although feel free to sub because we know you have to sub, you know. I'm joking. But yeah, good morning. How are we all doing? How are you all doing? Lake, hey, how's life at work? I'm assuming you're still at work, or have you finished now? Because obviously you was up like super early from our time anyway. I'm guessing it's super early for your time. What, like 5:30? You were posting this morning or something like that, your time? Coffee break. Ah, okay. Well, if you've only got a coffee break, you won't be here for the PES news, I imagine, because that one is down the pecking order. Let me give you a run through of the stories that we will be discussing today. So we got super excited about it last week in the Gamescom Xbox conference. I believe it was in the Xbox one, right? It wasn't Opening Night Live. I think it was Xbox. I'm pretty sure it was Xbox. I can't remember now. They merged into one. But anyway, Marvel's Midnight Suns, a new game made by Firaxis and 2K, is coming, and we have a new gameplay trailer looking at that. That is the lead story. Brand new, fresh game, fresh news. Obviously going to lead with that. We then follow that up with some big story that we kind of started to talk about during those same sort of sessions last week. Battlefield 2042. A lot of people are hyped for that. There is a beta coming for it, and apparently the release date has seemingly been leaked, so we'll go through that. Then I will do this. I will reach over to my drawer and I will pull out the copy of CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk, I should have said 2077, made by CD Projekt Red. I will pull this copy out that's still in its cellophane wrapper because it's not good enough for me to play it. I'm waiting for the next gen update, which is coming this year. Or is it? We'll have a conversation on that. It might not be coming this year. The next gen updates could be delayed. We'll then jump into some news about eFootball. I know you guys will want to talk about that a lot. We will keep that pretty brief. Obviously, full caveats here. We do work with Konami. We do work with PES. So we don't spend a lot of time focusing on games where we don't want to get ourselves into trouble, saying things that we can't be saying. So we will go through the news in the article. We'll have a little bit of a discussion, and then we'll jump on to our final news article, which I believe was shared by Iceman. I don't actually have Discord open. It was Iceman. There we go. Close Discord again. And this is the fact that Nintendo Switch Online might actually be worth subscribing to soon. So if you've got Nintendo Switch and you don't have Nintendo Switch Online because it's a bit gash, put your hand up if that's you. That's me. Well, do you know, it might be worth subscribing to soon, and we'll give you all the details of why in our final news article of the day. So let's jump in to the first story. Actually, before I jump into the first story, let me jump into the chat. Let's see what everyone's saying. Wes says, how do? Coffee break and day end in 30 minutes after. Oh, well, okay, you might be fine. You might be fine then. You might get the PES news depending on when that is. So, Madge says, for all that is holy, can you please help Konami Japan with their English and website design, Graham? Jelly Media could do wonders for them. Okay. I'll have a word. But yeah, not here when eFootball PES things hit. I will bike home. So now, well, either way, you can watch it and listen to it on demand anyway, like you do. So we will have it on YouTube and stuff, or on all the podcast services that we are, should you want to get into that. But for eFootball, we will take a little bit of a rain check on that just now, as we will jump into our main story of the day. Easily the most exciting trailer from last week's content. Who in the chat joined us last week for our Gamescom and Xbox watch-alongs? If you were here for the opening night live or the Xbox watch-alongs, you will have seen that we had some... No, it was opening night live. It was opening night live that was featured in, because the Xbox conference started with like Flight Simulator and so on, whereas the opening night live show started with Midnight Suns. So big difference. Anyway, After the Xbox conference, that does help me going over it in my head with the framing. After the Xbox conference, we were kind of a little bit like, is that it? Is this all Gamescom has to offer? Nothing really new, nothing really exciting. Then we got Marvel's Midnight Suns, Halo, and all of the other good stuff in opening night live. And Midnight Suns was definitely the trailer that had me the most hyped out of all of the trailers that we got to see last week. Anyway, let me just change the Discussing Now title. New trailer. Okay, not that it's on screen for you guys just yet, but it will be. For now, we'll jump into the news. This is written by Vlad Mazanko at The Gamer, and it says, Marvel's Midnight Suns shows its hand in new card-based gameplay trailer. Midnight Suns' big reveal showed off a game that's radically different from XCOM. So this was kind of a discussion that we had last week. We have it in the article. I haven't read through the article, so apologies if I do step on its toes. But last week, we saw that Midnight Suns not only had some badass looking stuff, Wolverine, check, Ghost Rider, check, Blade, check, but it was also made by Firaxis. More superheroes are available. Captain Marvel and the likes were in there as well. But it was made by Firaxis, so the instant knee-jerk was okay, it's XCOM but Marvel. It's not quite that. It's not quite that. So Firaxis has revealed the first look at gameplay for Marvel's Midnight Suns, a new tactical RPG from the developers of XCOM. In the footage, the team showed new card-based abilities and intense superhero combat. As expected, Midnight Suns will have an isometric perspective on the battlefield with cinematic camera angles during eye-catching battle moves. Earlier, the devs revealed that despite its turn-based style of combat, the upcoming game won't share any familiar mechanics with the last XCOM entries. In many ways, it has become possible because of a new card-based combat system. Another thing to remember is that every character in your squad is an iconic superhero who never misses their attack. Basically, the combat in Midnight Suns works like this. You pick 3 heroes for your squad and then deal with a random selection of hero abilities like a hand of cards. The available cards will offer a vast array of tactical choices, rewarding you for clever thinking, utilization of the environment, and combining special attacks of everyone in the squad. Just like the XCOM games, the destructible surroundings will play a major role in your battle efficiency. There will be 12 playable characters in Midnight Suns, each bringing their own unique tactics and game-changing finishes. There we go. This is the gameplay reveal trailer. Is that the same one?
How long was I in that crypt?
Don't think it was. The one I watched... Oh, do you know, I'll mute it. Where do we get to? Okay, I'll start again. There will be 12 playable characters in Midnight Suns, each bringing their own unique tactics and game-changing finishes. Finding the right combination of heroes and their abilities will be very important for your progress. Moreover, you can unlock alternate costumes for heroes that will grant you access to additional skills. Apart from its card-based combat, Midnight Suns will offer a deep role-playing experience. The game will feature a customizable character called the Hunter, who has never before appeared in the Marvel universe. As Hunter, you'll get to live in the Abbey among Marvel legends, forging your relationships with Wolverine, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Blade, Ghost Rider, and many more. Actually, was it this one? Was this the trailer? Yeah, this was the trailer. This was the gameplay of it. I'm going to keep it muted. This trailer in this article is actually a very, very good watch. 6 minutes long. I will share the article so you have the link through to it, and it gives you a lot of words. It talks you through all of the different modes and everything within that. So I will share the link to the article. Actually, Mr. T has posted a link in the chat. Good morning, Mr. T. Maybe he's shared that already. I will look through that in just a second. Let me finish the article, though. It may be too early to evaluate Midnight Suns gameplay, yet it seems that the fan reaction is fairly mixed at the moment. Some viewers criticised the game's level design and expressed their concerns about the whole card system. Others simply noted they will watch all the cutscenes for a new Marvel story, but won't play the game itself. We'll see if the situation changes prior to launch. Interesting, particularly at the end. I will leave this on screen now as we have... We'll scroll it. There we go. It should be central. Should be nice. So, has anyone watched this trailer? Has anyone been through this trailer? So basically, this is a 6-minute trailer that is on the screen now, and it talks you through the whole idea of how the game works, how you can utilize different functions, string together your attacks, use the environment, how you then weave that into the team that you're bringing. So the different heroes that you bring in your three hero team has a huge impact on how you play the game. Plus, the hunter character that they mentioned within there is a fully customizable character. I believe it said that's the first time this has ever happened in the Marvel Universe too. I could be wrong, but the hunter is essentially your avatar that you customize and choose how that character progresses. So that's the reason why this character hasn't existed in the universe before, because it's a new one that's meant to be an expression of yourself. But what do you guys think? Have you seen it? Did you see the trailer last week at Opening Night Live? What are your thoughts? I'll jump back through the chat. Where did we get to? There we go. Firaxis Marvel game hype. I hope it's a banger. Lake says I need to watch that. Tito says Midnight Suns looked good, but my pessimistic self, I know you're shot by that, Graham, is worried about their card system, meaning microtransactions. I mean, it is 2K after all. I love you, Mr. T, says Tito. My humble apologies, doubting you. Okay, let me see what Mr. Tito's tweet was, actually. This is the tweet that was linked in the chat. Hey, folks, regarding our battle card system, there are no loot boxes in Marvel's Midnight Suns, all related microtransactions to get more cards, i.e. gamma coils. We will have purely cosmetic character skins for purchase that do not affect game balance in any way. So there you go. Tito, shut your mouth. Nice. Card-based hybrid combat systems are quite popular in the indie scene. Lake says, oh, I wish Firaxis would release XCOM Terror from the Deep like they did with XCOM. I would scream in joy for that. Turn-based, the cards just visualize a menu option for a power or similar. Yeah, basically, have you seen... I mentioned him earlier, Show, actually. Has anyone watched Shogun Ash play Fights in Tight Spaces? That is... You wouldn't say that's a card game, but that is effectively a card game. You get the multiple different options of how you attack. They are basically cards. I could be wrong because I haven't played that game, and obviously I've not played Midnight Suns yet. But that is kind of how that looks for me. The cards are essentially attacks, just like you'd get in a maybe a Hearthstone kind of thing. Obviously, I want to use certain move. The card is basically how you would dole out your attacks. The way that you dish out those attacks, in what order, and how you use environments. So if I go back to... Do I still have the article open? I should still have the article open. See if I can find the bit where it starts to show it. Let's bring this back on screen. Well, there's Lilith, and there's all her demons, which were called Lillipups. That's a Pokemon, by the way. They're not really Lillipups. It did mention it somewhere. I can't find it. Do you know what? Let me come off this. I'll give you the link to the article so you guys can check it out for yourself. The article that we've got all this from was thegamer.com. So if you want to check out the Gamer article, it has the original gameplay trailer that was shown last week, plus the 6-minute trailer that was released yesterday. So if you want to check all the information in there, you can do. But it's basically it's turn-based strategy with randomized movesets. Which has been a game that's kind of caught my attention. I've played a bit of. I did play. I mean, the thing with something like Hearthstone is it's not my kind of game. But when I played Hearthstone, I lost 2 hours of my life playing that game. The thing is, when I say it's not my kind of game, the style, the characters, and so on, not so much. Whereas this, I mean, fucking Iron Man's helmet sat there. This is absolutely my styling of a game. So this could be something that actually brings me into a tactical RPG. I like playing that turn-based, card-based game. It's never really bothered me too much. Let's be offensively stereotypical. Sweaty neckbeards playing with their orcs and dungeons and things like that. It's not for me. However, superheroes, yes, please. And this is pretty much the exact same game, but with a superhero skin. It's not the exact same game, simplifying it. But that's kind of what it is for me, first impressions. Okay, I've got a superhero skin, a fantasy element that I can relate to on top of that. But as you will, I think it's kind of starting to say it now in this trailer. As you will see in this trailer, there's actually a lot more to it. You can do stuff that satisfies. So this is the bit actually where it's showing you how you use. So you've used that card. You're going to do a specific attack on that person. That's a destructible environment. You can hit that dude into a barrel, which is going to blow up and take out other people. It's about how you combine your attacks and the environments and so on. Obviously, you can then... It's not just a case of going in with the cards and you just play random attacks. You can then spend a bit of time... If I fast forward... the bit that started to look cool. You can spend time with superheroes. So spend time with Captain Marvel, do some sort of training. There you go. A little bit further on. Was that the bit? Oh, there you go. You could chill out with Tony Stark. Just chill out with Tony Stark. I mean, that's enough to buy it on its own. There was another bit where you can do some training with Blade as well. Fuck yeah. Do essentially crafting. You craft new abilities. There he is. How badass does Blade look? Craft new abilities and so on. Which that's the kind of stuff that's cool for me. It takes it away from just being tabletop gameplay. That's effectively what the Hearthstone element kind of is. You get the tabletop gameplay, but you're mixing it in with the... It's not open world. It's clearly not open world. But open house. You go back to the Abbey, as they mentioned it in the trailer, where you can spend time with the other Marvel characters, building up your relationships, crafting new attacks, and essentially just trading yourself. So it looks good. It looks really good. I'm genuinely surprised at how impressed I am with this. Not my kind of gameplay generally. I've watched show play fights in tight spaces. I've enjoyed it, but I've never thought about playing it myself. This is a little bit different, which yeah, interest peaked. Which is exactly what Tito's. My interest has been piqued. Touche. Lots more to come before release. Remember, March 2022. Yeah. I forget the name, but there's a stripped-down game similar-ish to Midnight Suns from Japan, released on PlayStation about 2 months ago. Card deck building for combat with skills in turn-based strategy. Just 0 engaging story and less characters. So Midnight Suns should be in my library ASAP, unless it's somehow a horrible broken mess, which I seriously doubt. If I can get the title after I do... I'll see if I can get the title after I do my customer call. Nice. Well, if you do get it, do let us know, Madge. Do let us know. If you do get it, then maybe we can play some games when it comes out, because I think we're going to play it. Yeah. I say I think we're going to play it. We are going to play it when it comes out. So, yeah, if you get it, do let me know. It does have my attention. Definitely has my attention. Like I say, any of those sort of like kind of isometric, almost top-downy sort of games, that's where I instantly go, #baby game. #baby game. Dungeon crawlers, top-down shooters, tabletop games, anything that kind of crosses any of those boundaries is a #baby game. Not because that's specifically a Bibby game, it's just that Bibby is open to more genres and styles of game than I am. This generally wouldn't be on my list, but looking at it, having the engaging storylines, like being able to just fucking chill out with Ghost Rider. Yeah. Being able to do all of that sort of stuff. Go for a stroll with Tony Stark through the gardens of the Abbey. Sit with magic. I'm pretty much narrating what the trailer says there, by the way. I just don't want to put it on. I couldn't remember if there's any DMCA music or not. But yeah, that extra storyline. You know what I'm like as a gamer in terms of... I'm open to a lot, but I'm also quite closed off with what I actually put my time into. I don't have too much time to spare, so I'm quite selective with where I put that time. I don't play racing games. Not that I hate racing games. I used to adore racing games, but I've experienced pretty much all I believe there is to experience in racing games as such. Yes, they might get a bit more realistic and so on, and playing them in the VR landscape might change my opinion again. I might love that idea. But racing games is racing games. I've played Toka Touring Cars and I've played Cold McRae Rallies. I've played Gran Turismo 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 and I've kind of done it all, so I'm not that bothered. However, Forza Horizon 5, the fact that they put in a little bit more story into that now has my attention, because that's evolving on that, and that's what this kind of has to be. The fact that they're injecting more of a tangible storyline around it, that has my attention. I still don't like the Robert Reyes Ghost Rider. Hopefully there'll be a decent Ghost Rider skin. Guess it depends on the licensing Firaxis have. Yeah, I mean, it does show. I don't know if I can find it. It does show a Captain Marvel cosmetic change. So Captain Marvel, I believe, was in more an MCU sort of skin initially. I don't know if it's going to show in it. It's somewhere else in the video, probably. Oh, sign up to get the Nightwalker skin. Oh, It's a badass skin. But there was a Captain Marvel like white skin, so I'm assuming they're already working on that. I would be surprised if there wasn't more skins with cinematic tie-ins. Obviously, this has been made with Marvel's buy-in naturally. Marvel has their name on the game, so I would be surprised if there isn't active pushing to have the other skins and stuff in there. Don't know that for certain, just my assumptions. It'd be good to see. I hope the game's Ghost Rider is played by Nicolas Cage. It isn't. It's played by Nicolas Cage's face in Things. That's an ex. Does that even still exist? Does everyone even know what I'm talking about? But there used to be a Nicolas Cage's face in Things, like Facebook page or meme page. Does that even still exist? Neoverse is the game title from Tino Games. Okay. Let me do a Google. Neoverse videos. Neoverse launch trailer. Muted, but let's have a look. Looks kind of nice, and it's lost me. Yeah, I'm like, this is what I don't want in PUBG, so I don't want it in other games. That's what I'm saying when I'd be like #baby game, like Werewolf Beast, Orc Man thing, short skirt, kind of like it's a very defined like manga style. I don't know if manga's even the right phrasing. I'll just go for the wide encapsulating anime style. So this doesn't have my attention, but that's kind of the difference. Is even though this might be a great game and it has obviously a lot of similarities, this is it's kind of what I was talking about yesterday, talking about PUBG. This is a very Eastern style game, whereas I am very Western in my content consumption. I want PUBG to be a Western game. It's leaning towards Eastern styles more recently, which is where obviously it's a little bit jarring with me. This game would jar with me in that sort of sense, in terms of the art styling and stuff isn't my sort of styling, whereas Midnight Suns is more westernized, so that one does speak to me a little bit more. Anyway, let's put a pin in that because we spent a little bit of time talking about that. Let's move ahead. Long story short, if you missed it, Marvel's Midnight Suns has a new gameplay trailer. I did share the article in the chat. I'm going to put the link back in again. That is to thegamer.com. You can see the full article there. There is 2 trailers. I recommend, if you have 6 minutes to spare, watching that 6 minutes gameplay trailer on Midnight Suns. It does explain a lot about the game, and if you're indifferent, if you're not sure, if you maybe interested, watching that trailer will give you a bit more of an insight into what it actually is, and you can build opinions off that. Maybe we could play it together as it launches March 2022. But enough for 2022. Let's talk about 2042 though. Battlefield has had its beta release date seemingly leaked by an Italian retailer. This is according to Chris Scullion's article at VGC, and it says the beta could be coming next week. Whew. Okay, an Italian retailer has seemingly leaked the release date for the Battlefield 2042 beta. According to a listing on Media World, the beta will take place between September the 6th and the 11th. So not only could you win yourself an Ice Cream Uploads esports jersey on Monday, but you could also be taking part in a Battlefield beta at the same time. VGC has asked Electronic Arts for comment on its authenticity. A promotional image in the listing reads, in Italian, pre-order this product by September 3rd and you will receive access to the early beta of the game from September 6th to September 11th. Update. An EA spokesperson declined to comment on the specific retail listing when asked by VGC, stating, our open beta release window is September. Back to the original story. EA has previously confirmed that Battlefield 2042's open beta will launch in September, but has yet to give an official date. EA Play members and customers who pre-order any version of the game will receive early access to the open beta. It also confirmed on Thursday. The standard edition of Battlefield 2042 is set to release on October 22nd, 2021, priced at $60 for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and $70 for next gen. However, players who choose to pre-order the Battlefield 2042 Gold Edition, which is $90 on PC and $100 on consoles, or the Battlefield 2042 Ultimate Edition, which is $110 on PC and $120 on consoles, will receive early access to the game beginning on October the 15th. Battlefield's new Hazard Zone will be inspired by Battle State Games FPS escape from Tarkov, a data mine of the game's private tech playtest recently suggested. According to details shared on social media by community data miner Temporal, the mode, which is yet to be officially detailed by DICE, will have players battling AI enemies and fighting to reach extraction points without losing their loot. In Escape from Tarkov, players are assigned an extraction point on the other side of the map and must fight against other players and AI enemies in order to reach that point and escape with their collected loot. In addition to these standard extractions, players are also given the opportunity to use optional extraction points, but must achieve certain objectives in order to do so, such as by acquiring a certain piece of loot. Do you know, I missed that bit of news. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's the reason why I continued reading there. I'm open to the idea of Escape from Tarkov. It's too hardcore for me, Escape from Tarkov, though. Has anyone played it? Has anyone like it? Has anyone seen it? If you haven't, basically, Escape from Tarkov is like PUBG is realistic compared to other games, other BRs. Escape from Tarkov is PUBG on steroids. You drop in either as they call them scabs. Scav. I think it's a scavenger. You either drop in as a scav with nothing, and you basically can see what you can loot, take back, and add to your gear at home, or you can go in as your I don't know the name of it, your player character. Basically, you can build up your character. You can kit them out with the loot that you extract, so you can go in with helmets, bulletproof vests, good weapons, keys to unlock certain doors to give you high tier loot. All of that stuff has a high value, which you can then trade in, sell to get even more money, which allows you to buy extra other things, other ammo and stuff like that. But if you die as a scav, you go in with nothing, and your chances of getting good stuff are lower than if you go in with your character, which is basically the gamble. Do you go in with your character and potentially lose all the loot that you have, but have a chance at bigger rewards, or not? I believe you can only do a certain amount of scav runs or something. I'm not sure. Either way, it's a good premise. It's the sort of risk reward sort of game, which is risk reward is why I enjoy PUBG. There's a lot of risk. Usually, it's risk your time, your effort, that 25 minutes that you've spent to push into a good position. Do you risk it for extra loot and an extra kill? But Tarkov takes it too far, so it's kind of not for me. You have to feel though that would be dumbed down in you know, let me just actually put the discussing now on screen. Battlefield 2042, let's call it a roundup, even though it's more about the beta release date, which we'll jump onto. You have to feel that would be kind of dumbed down a little bit for Battlefield, because obviously that super hardcore nature, Battlefield will probably have a little bit longer time to kill, a little bit more freedom, easier medding and things like that, because Battlefield, you don't need to sit there and like apply sutures and different sort of injections and all sorts of other stuff. You just either sit back behind a corner and heal, or use a med kit kind of thing. You kind of imagine that's got to be quick like that, which could be good for me. The bit I am super interested, though, is the beta. I genuinely am looking forward to Battlefield 2042. This is one of my most hyped releases of the next 12 months, not even the next 3 months. So the fact that the beta could be coming as soon as Monday is pretty exciting. I have EA Play, so I could be playing that on PS5. If anyone has pre-ordered Battlefield and does have that next week and is open for a few games, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Battlefield 2042 is one I'm keeping my eyes on, really hoping it's a return to peak Battlefield. Never played Tarkov, watched it, and it was quite intense. A camper playstyle paradise. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's realism. We are conditioned by Hollywood and games to want super soldiers that run in and brah, brah, brah. And even PUBG has kind of got to that extent. If you keep your head on a swivel, don't stand still, you're looting something but keep moving, chances are if someone shoots, the bullet's going to go rather than hitting you straight in the face. So PUBG is already quite complex. You've got a good chance of missing shots on PUBG compared to something like a COD or a Battlefield. Tarkov is just that even further. It's so hard to hit your shots, which is kind of realistic. It's if you've got someone quite far off and you're just iron sighting a single shot rifle, there's a good chance you will miss your shots and so on in real life. But I don't want that level of realism. So I think Battlefield could have a nice little balance on that. I so hope it's as good as Battlefield 4, says West. Yeah. See, Battlefield Bad Company 2 for me. Give me that. I dropped off by Battlefield 4 Battlefield 3, I may have had it. I may have played some of it. But Battlefield 3 was where I kind of like, I dropped off. I'd had the Battlefield Bad Company 2 and so on. But that was kind of me in FPS in general. We just got a lot of spacey wall running shit in COD and in Battlefield. So Battlefield 3 was kind of where I dropped away. So I would say Battlefield 4 wasn't where I want it to be. But I hope they do whatever you all whatever your peak of the series is. I hope it hits that, and I hope that's something that is applicable to all of us, because it's been too long since we've had a solid Battlefield game. We had Battlefield like 1, Battlefield 5, then the Pacific content for Battlefield 5. Not my kind of games. I've played them both, have them both, and they were okay. But I'm not bothered about trench warfare. I don't want to be slopping down into a field of mud and reviving someone as the medic kind of thing, whilst he's sat there with his like full-on iron-sighted MP5 and just having Nazis running around. I've been there, I've fought that. I want same thing again. I want new experiences. And for me, new is, I don't need space stuff. I've played that. I just want new as in, if I can't have new, I want realism. I want realistic sort of stuff. So ideally for me, 2022 would be where the Battlefield is. But 2042 is not too far in future. That's close enough for it to be realistic, far enough for it to be adventurous. Excited. It's got my attention. Absolutely got my attention. My game releases 30th of this month. Let's go. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. We haven't started talking about PES yet. Well, eFootball, should I say, yet. But we will be doing after the next story, which we're on to now. So the next story, not eFootball, but is, well, it's this. It's this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to do this for the rest of the time. This is my copy of Cyberpunk 2077. Christmas present last year from Danielle to me. Cheers, babe. Which she went all out. She got me this. She got me like the version that comes with all of the fancy little extra bits and stuff like that. Oh, yeah, nice. And then it's still in the cellophane wrapper 9 months later. And the reason for that is because we all know Cyberpunk had a very, very bad year. They did promise, though, that next year we will get the next-gen update. Well, we are 9 months into next year, and we now might not be getting the next-gen update in the next 3 months as we go through this news article. This is written by Matt Wales at Eurogamer. CD Projekt, quote, can't say with full certainty, end quote, that its next-gen Cyberpunk and Witcher 3 updates will arrive this year, but it is still definitely aiming for late 2021. CD Projekt has told investors it can't say with full certainty that its highly anticipated Cyberpunk 2077 and Witcher 3 next-gen updates will launch this year, despite the developer insisting it's still aiming for a late 2021 release. An enhanced edition of The Witcher 3 for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, promising the likes of ray tracing and faster loading times, was announced last September, while a proper, air quotes, next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 was touted in June 2020. Both were initially scheduled for launch this year, but the status of each has been somewhat unclear in the light of Cyberpunk 2077's disastrous launch and the resulting, studio reshuffle and revised development roadmap as CD Projekt worked to improve the base game. I'm just going to have a drink of coffee. Bear with. Oh, that's some good coffee. Officially, both updates are still scheduled for release in late 2021, but SVP of Business Development, I'm going to say that as Michael. It could be Michal, but Michael Novakovsky has now admitted to investors during CD Projekt's H1 2021 results call, as transcribed by VGC, that while the studio is definitely still aiming to launch this year, it can't say with full certainty that the production schedule will not change. Quote, the target is to release the next-gen version of Cyberpunk 2077 late this year, explained Novakovsky. At the time, or Novakovsky, I don't know. At the same time, keeping in mind the lessons we have learned during the past year and taking into account that this project still remains in development, we can't say with full certainty that the production schedule will not change. It's a similar story for the Witcher 3 update, which is being handled externally by Saber Interactive, with Novakovsky noting that the development, quote, is ongoing and we cannot be absolutely dead certain that the release schedule will not change. However, quote, for the time being, Nowakowski concluded, we are definitely aiming with both titles for late 2021, and I don't want to be more specific at this moment in time. Let's stop there. Let's stop there. I mean, it's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's fair enough for me. What can I say there? No! Give me more. It just, I'm not any more disappointed than I have been since December last year. It's not ready. It's not ready. The reason we got this whole situation is because it was released when it wasn't ready. So there's nothing more that Nowakowski can do there other than to say we're hoping to have it for the end of 2021. It might not be the end of 2021. That's honesty. I can't say when it is, but it'll be around there. Okay, he can't add any more to that, so that's fine by me. So there's an update. Cyberpunk 2077 may be next-genable by the end of the year, but it might not be. You kind of have to feel, though, with that wording, that they are still aiming for the end of the year. You kind of feel that at that point, if they're still aiming for that point at the end of the year, if it's not there, it's going to be soon after, which that's fine by me. That's fine by me. I'll be a late comer to the new Battlefield. My OG Xbox won't be able to play with next gen, so I'll have to wait a while. Boo, boo. Is it next? No, not next gen. Is it crossplay, cross combat kind of thing? I know obviously if it's not on Xbox One, but it's on Xbox Series consoles, can they play together like you can in Warzone kind of thing, or PUBG? Still unopened. Let's go. Yeah, still unopened. Luke says, I played about 12 hours of Cyberpunk on PS5 Pro, but it went back in the box when I got a PS5. It'll stay there until the update, but if it clashes with Forbidden West, I only have time for one massive open world game per quarter. Do you know what? I agree. And Forbidden West just looks so much better. I don't know how to describe it. Cyberpunk had the best, most engaging long-term content strategy that you've ever seen. It wasn't flawless. It did get a bit tiresome at times, and I gave up on the Night City Wires after 2 because I just felt like, it's just dev talky stuff. It's not giving me the content that I kind of want, and if it does, it'll be all spoilers. But they still managed to keep people entertained. Despite all of that, game by game, side by side, bearing in mind I haven't played Cyberpunk, but I've seen a lot of content on it, Horizon is more my kind of game. So in that sort of sense, a sequel to Horizon, it's even bigger and better. Yes, please, I will go with that one. Ad says, are you ready? And if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Sausage butter, mate. Bow to your masters. Break it down. The reason I kept going with the DX theme tune, by the way, is because I was doing stuff off screen and it gave me the time to voice my pause. There you go, nice. Anyway, enough of the voiced pauses. This is what you want, right? This is what you want. eFootball, do you want to talk about it? Yeah. Okay. Caveats, as always, we do work with Konami, so we are we're not gonna give any information that isn't available. A lot of our content in this next 5 minutes or so will be based on what is in this specific article. So it'd be nice to let you guys stress your oh, Lake is here. Hey, so it'd be nice to give you a chance to obviously give your feedback and let us know your thoughts. Obviously, caveats are, do keep it balanced. I don't just want to be the one pushing positivity onto people, but also I don't want you ones to be just the ones pushing negativity. So keep it balanced, keep it constructive. Nice. Okay, let's jump in. Chris Scullion at VGC says PES successor eFootball launches this month with friendlies and 9 teams. The free-to-play service's first big update is due in the autumn. Konami has announced that eFootball will launch later this month with 9 teams to choose from. The free-to-play successor to the Pro Evolution Soccer series will be released on September 30th and will only have the option to play friendly matches locally or online. The first major update will then follow in autumn and will be free to download. According to Konami, when the game launches, the following 9 teams will be available. Arsenal, Barcelona, sorry, banter. Arsenal, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Corinthians, Paulista, Flamengo, Juventus, United, Manchester United are the team for me. Manchester United, River Plate, Sao Paulo. There will be 6 stadiums to choose from: the Camp Nou, Old Trafford, Allianz Stadium, Emirates Stadium, Allianz Arena, and the eFootball Stadium. Players can choose to play against the AI or a friend offline, or can play online with cross-generation matchmaking, i.e. PS5 versus PS4, or Xbox Series consoles versus Xbox One. Konami says the game's first main update due in autumn will include a number of modes, including creative teams, in which players build... I'll emphasize that again. Konami says the game's first main update due in the autumn will include a number of new modes, including creative teams, in which players build their own squad, similar to FIFA's Ultimate Team or the My Club feature in previous PES games. The autumn update will also include the following new modes: eFootball Creative League, play with your creative team against others and get promoted up the league rankings. Tour Event, play against AI opponents and earn rewards. Challenge Event, play against others online, completing assigned objectives for rewards. Online Quick Match, plays a casual match with over 600 licensed teams. Cross-platform matchmaking, PC and consoles. Online Match Lobby. According to Konami, the autumn update will also add the game's monetization model, which it claims will be rebalanced to ensure that players can reach the same potential, regardless of how they acquire in-game items. The game will have 3 currencies: eFootball coins, which are premium, eFootball points earned through gameplay, and GP, also earned through gameplay. After a certain number of match types played, match passes will reward players with items like a nominating contract, which lets them choose a specific player for their team, eFootball coins, or more. Players can also buy a premium advantage match pass for even greater rewards. Excuse me. Konami says other features, such as an edit mode and PS5 haptic feedback and adaptive trigger support, will be coming in future updates down the line. Konami conceded last month that eFootball will essentially be a demo at launch. Formerly known as Pro Evolution Soccer and Winning 11, eFootball has been completely rebuilt in Unreal Engine, although the game will be free. Konami says that more content and game modes will be released after launch, and some of these will cost money. Quote, as a digital-only title, Konami will regularly add new content and game modes after launch this autumn, a statement from the publisher read in July. In the future, certain game modes will be sold as optional DLC, giving the players the freedom to build an experience that follows their interests. There you go. eFootball launches. Let me add that one in. September.30th. Okay, that says 3-THJ. 30th. Okay, on screen. Give it to me. What do you think? What do you think? What are your thoughts? Let me hear. View warning, horrendous colour scheme ahead. Visually sensitive people, beware. I will say nothing. I've said enough already. If I speak, I'm in trouble. Never heard of any of them. Wait, what? They've actually called it Creative Team and Creative League? Wow, that's not good. Old-style 10-game league system returns. Great name. I'm on board with that part. The best football game launches. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? What do you guys think? Obviously, we're giving you the information that is contained within the article. What are your thoughts? I imagine that it will be met with positive vibes from what we got told today. How are they going to do haptic feedback? I thought it only worked with a bow and arrow. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing. Haptic feedback. It's kind of it gives you the sensation of pulling back on a bow, and you can feel it get a bit more rigid as you pull it further back. Or the feeling of walking along a beach and having the soft sand versus concrete floor. And the water. Yeah, I mean that's how haptic triggers work. I mean, how does it work in football? I imagine that's going to be a power sensor in terms of like how far you pull it back. Maybe I'm not 100% sure. I've not touched it. I don't know. That's where I would assume it would work. If you're going to have haptics, then that's kind of where it goes. I say my sayings on Discord when I get home and read that news. Too busy now. Okay, well there you go. Nobody wants to talk. That's fine. This is the easiest way to go through it. My initial thoughts are it's fine. Okay, we'll get more news. I am actually quite interested to see how the game looks and plays at the start. This is me who has not seen it. I have not touched it. I have not played it. I can say that hand on heart that I haven't seen eFootball 2022 at all in the flesh. I've seen the trailers and bits that you've seen. I haven't seen anything else. So I am looking forward to finally getting my hands on that. One thing that I do feel is getting missed, though, from my comments, from my angle looking at the community, not speaking about the game as such, is that it still doesn't seem to sink in that this is a live service title. The game will continue to improve. So I keep seeing people saying the fact that it's not got all of the modes and stuff in it. Like I say, live service, you get your service steady, and then you build something new. This is a free-to-play game that will continue to evolve year upon year upon year. So there's no separate standalone demo that comes out. There's no full game then releasing, and you sit on that until 12 months later on when the new full game drops on top of it. It's a case of Projekt cycles will probably be annual. You have to assume that. I don't know that. You have to assume that. I think Kimura may have said something like that. The game will have major updates each year with content, new licenses, new clubs, new teams, new stadiums, and so on. But if it's a free-to-play continued service game, then the game can add new modes and new content when it's ready. PUBG doesn't just have an update every year. PUBG has a new season that's just come out into the testing servers today, which will hit PC next week and console like the week after or something. They don't just release an annual sort of boom, that's it, more content, more content. New seasons bring new modes, bring new updates, bring different focuses for marketing strategies. So that's the bit that I'm most excited about seeing, is how that works. Like I've said before, any game that has come and changed to a brand new engine has had issues. Be that PES or anything else. Anything that's changed the way that it has going forward. Same thing with EA as well. When they changed to, is it Frostbite? Was that what EA was using for FIFA? Issues, guaranteed. So I don't expect it will be flawless. But yeah, that's not. I mean, I'm kind of at peace with that. I've been through PES changing generations in the past. This is much more significant than PES changing generations. Much more significant than PES changing engines. This is PES changing everything from the ground up. So I'm intrigued to see beyond that. I'm kind of at peace that it will probably be Rocket. I don't know if it is. I haven't touched it, but that's kind of what I assume, based off of my own history. That it may be Rocky to begin with, but I'm more interested to see how that develops, because the game has always been called Pro Evolution Soccer. It's now doesn't have evolution in the title, but arguably the game has more of a link to evolution than it ever would have. Evolution should be build for where we want to progress, where we want to evolve, where we want to get better in certain areas. Is that increasing the quality of the gameplay? Is that adding new modes? Is that giving new online functions? Whatever it may be. Evolution doesn't necessarily need to be tied to an annual release, and that's kind of what we've had before, purely because of the annual cycle of video games. I believe there is a large potential for eggs to be broken for this omelette, and for people to not want their eggs to be broken but want the omelette. I think there's a large potential for that, but I'm happy as someone that has been around PES for years as a fan, not necessarily someone that works with Konami. I'm happy as a fan to see how that plays out, how that change to continued evolution works. That's what has me most excited. Where did we get to? No, I've got that bit. I'll say that. Nothing's changed on my end. All we've had is a release date and a name of game modes. Nothing to moan about. Madge says the 10-game creative league system reimagined positive vibes. Lake says, but if I heard correctly, we don't have to wait until January for the full release. Did it? I don't know. Well, it is releasing on September 30th, and that's kind of the thing as well. Then is full release is something that we have had bred into us for 20 odd years of playing football games. Full release, whereas we will be having full releases, but never again in the same format. They will probably look more like it after a couple of years, but live service doesn't have a full release. PUBG's new season will come out, which will add new content and new modes and new functions, but in regular content updates. So full release, is not even a phrase that I would say. I mean, it's free to play. You get the full release on September 30th, and then it gets better. So that's what I keep saying. When I'm saying if you don't like it, don't play it. Just wait for it to get better. That's not me saying I'll get the next PES. Get the next PES. Wait for the next full release. That's me saying, okay, we'll wait until it's had updates, because that's how free to play works. Free to play, you don't just go, boom, there it is. Let's all sit back and wait till the next one. Boom, another full release. Full release. It's like new content, new content, new content. Content could be in-game, or it could be actual game modes and functions. So that's the bit that's kind of like the linking to full releases is not how free to play works. That fundamentally is the difference. It's an evolution more than it ever has been before. It is, and that's fine, but it's not a live service game at launch. It's a live service demo for the foreseeable future. We all know what a live service is like. Roadmaps outlined, but they're really kept to schedule. So when realistically are we looking at a full game? Full game! There we go again. We know Konami aren't exactly responsive, and that's kind of the thing though. Is as I've said before, it's a live service demo. So it's basically early access. Essentially, it's not what it's called, but that's essentially what it is. You're getting early access to it, which is par for the course for live gameplay stuff. This isn't something Konami has done before, as you've mentioned. We don't really know what to expect from them in that sort of sense. So it's just jump into the early access. If it's only got restricted teams, restricted modes, or whatever, we'll play that, and then when more content gets added to it, we go from there. If it's not got the content to keep you playing, then that is where I say, well, okay, fine, just stop playing. Jump into if football is your bag, jump into FIFA or the other two games that somehow have got free passes. What was it called? UFL and then Goals, which we've seen nothing about, but now these are the messiahs. It very rarely happens like that. I mean, I am welcome to them being exceptional footballing experiences, but the last time I saw a football game being welcomed in as the Messiah, I think was it Total Football? Is that what it's called? The one with Steven Gerrard on the cover. There's a reason we aren't playing Total Football 2022. So yeah. It probably has a long way to go. I don't know that. I'm not saying that from any brand perspective or whatever. I'm saying that as someone seeing a new game that is free to play that needs to evolve. It probably has a long way to go, but it's going to launch in demo, early access, whatever you want to call it. It will then add more content to it, and then more modes and stuff, as it mentioned somewhere in there. Like, did it mention it as DLC or whatever down the line? That's just free to play evolution, which is a lot of people. That's the thing that a lot of people are failing to grasp is this is not an off the shelf product. There you go. This is there's a bit, there's a bit, there's a bit, there's a bit, there's a bit. This will keep coming. This will keep coming. That bit that I've just gave you, I'm going to take back and give you an improved version. This bit's new. That bit I'm going to take back and give you a new version. And that's kind of how free to play should go. We don't know how this works. It's never been done in this sort of format where you've got I mean, is PES AAA? Do we class that as AAA? I'm going to say AAA because of football. So we've never had that with a AAA title changing from one structure to another. You might get a game that's about to launch go from being actually it's a full product to a free to play. Usually you get that as like a panic stages sort of thing. Like Boss Key had it with, what was their shooter that they changed to free to play and then changed back or something like that. But a considered change of structure is difficult because not only do the developers have to get used to it, but the players and the fans that are used to 20 years of full releases, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to get that. Let me see. Chat's rolling away. After demo, the full release is within 2 months as each season, spring, summer, etc. 3 months long IRL. EA have lied and hid all along since FIFA 22 announced that it's still Frostbite, not mentioned it once, just hypermotion, and all that is adding is animation. But that's just marketing. I wouldn't say they've lied. That's just marketing. You sing about the good times. You make people jump in. And for a lot of people, that will be exceptional. That will be more than enough. It's only the top 10% that it's not. And if you're a super fan, you're in the top 10%. So I wouldn't say that EA have lied. EA are just marketing. It's just you sing about you've got cool new hypermotion tech. Let's talk about that. A lot of people aren't bothered about Frostbite being the engine, just the top 10% are. So why would they talk about Frostbite when only 10% are bothered about it, whereas probably 60, 70% are hyped about Hypermotion? In reality, if it looks and plays well, people are going to buy it anyway. So, yeah. Full release equals all the modes released. But once again, full release is all the modes released, is you asking for an off-the-shelf product, not a free-to-play live service model. PUBG, good example. I will keep using that as my reference because that's the one I'm going to be playing this afternoon as well, by the way, just to let you know. That's released in a shell of what it is now. Different. It didn't have first-person and third-person stuff. That stuff came in as it evolved with time. It still has janky movements 4 years in. They are supposedly working on movements. They have been for years, and we don't have any of that sort of stuff. So is that not a full release yet kind of thing? They didn't have the ability to jump and grab hold of ledges and stuff. That came after. So, but it's full release doesn't apply in the same sense. So all the modes being released is you applying different logic to it. I mean, whether you enjoy playing it or not, when it does come out, whether it's full or not full, that's a different thing altogether. If it doesn't play well for you, then that's something that you can judge it on. The fact that it's not releasing with all of the modes is just because it's a different model. That's something entirely different. I struggle to understand how you can be so optimistic with eFootball but so critical of FIFA when both, in truth, are very similar and judged similarly, says Tito to ads. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't judge any for being like I put it on Discord yesterday. I'm not overly optimistic. I'm not overly pessimistic. I'm just indifferent. I like I've said before, I've seen trailers and marketing campaigns that have looked absolutely exceptional, and then the game's been shit, and vice versa. I've seen stuff that looks absolutely horrible, and then turns out to be exceptional. So, I will try it. I will play it, and like I've said, with PES more than ever before. I mean, obviously, there's the vote with your wallet sort of stuff. If you don't like it, don't play it kind of stuff. But that's kind of had a bit of significance previously, meaning don't like it, don't buy it. Whereas now, if you don't like it and you don't play it and you don't buy anything for it, then there is no revenue. Whereas in the past, if you've bought the game, revenue was already being inserted into that stream. Obviously, there was PES Lite, which changed things slightly. But now, more than ever, don't like it, don't play it. And that is, it's voting with your wallet that has much more of an impact because there is no guaranteed income. Free-to-play games have to be good to be successful. And whether that's off the bat or whether that's over time, they need a guaranteed level of success. They need to satisfy urges, wants, needs, desires enough to keep people playing, because if they don't keep people playing, that's security that comes off of what Cyberpunk got from me. The 40, 50, 60 quid, whatever that cost. There is none of that. There is no down payment anymore. So, like I said before, as with any game, but very much with a free-to-play game, just if you don't like it, just sit on it. Uninstall it if needs be, and then try it again. But you don't have to wait for 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. You essentially get 22.1, 22.2, all the way through to, I don't know, however many different patches and updates and content drops and so on. So, yeah, there's a lot that you can obviously be wary of and a lot to be critical of, but there is a lot of misunderstandings with the shifts. Obviously, there's been comments on how clear the information has been shared. That's something slightly different. That probably doesn't help the way that people aren't really managing the switch from full release to free-to-play continued service release stuff, but you can't judge them the same as they have been. Like I say, I haven't played it. I don't know whether I will enjoy playing the game, but I'm just not going to jump into a train of negativity or positivity either. So yeah, that's essentially what I'm saying. I'm old, I'm grumpy, I need a nap. Sorry, I need to stop being a miserable. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's where it's good to have different voices, though. I don't mind playing devil's advocate and telling you all of the good stuff. I don't mind being devil's advocate and bringing you back down to earth as well. Just in the same way that with ads saying EA have lied, I'm saying actually no. They've just marketed. It's literally FIFA 21 still. It's literally not. They've probably put a lot of time and effort, and like I say, for a bunch of people, it will be more than enough. But I'm not going to put enough on saying. I mean, if you want to talk about lying from EA, I would say surprise mechanics is where I would look at the lies. What they're putting in their marketing is just marketing. And it could be good and it could be bad, but I will still choose for myself when I play. EA might have had the best football game for a lot of people for the last however many years. I've played every one of the last 10 and not continued to play them because they just didn't have what I wanted. PES did more than FIFA did, so PES became the game that I played more often. So it was just... And that's what I will do going forward, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Though in theory, there is always future modes to come, which is a plus. The negative is really bare bones launch. However, if the gameplay shell doesn't work, then getting people back will be a challenge for Konami. It will be the same with any free-to-play game. You need to do good at the beginning. You need to get people in, or you need enough of a reinvention. And a reinvention doesn't mean a rebrand and a relaunch, but a reinvention could be just something that changes the way that people think about a product, which PES has had quite a few times over the last 15 years. Mr. T will have worked on periods of reinvention for PES where it's done something special that's got people back in and changed attitudes and then has like a butterfly effect. So if the game launches and it doesn't have enough modes in, then that might be people going, okay, well, it's just not ready yet. And the full launch could be the reinvention. The game might do it on its own. If not, it might need to just release some content that captures the imagination. It could just be a trailer that brings in the attention. But yeah, it will be a challenge or it won't be a challenge, because that's the thing as well. I mean, with any sort of new user acquisition content, you could find something that just speaks, something that's viral, something that goes out to the right people who want the right content at the right time, which is what happened with that VFL or whatever it was called, UFL trailer the other day. That came at the right time because a lot of people want FIFA news, a lot of people want PES news, and that shot that came out on that day got everyone talking. So that has probably done itself a world of good because it came at the right time. And PES can do the same thing as well. It could also not do the same thing. Pre-order FIFA 22, and I've given EA credit too, but gameplay-wise, it'll be barely different. But a lot of people enjoy it, so why would you completely change it? I know you might want it changed, but a lot of people don't. Not too much. I think Konami have to understand people won't necessarily wait and pick it up. They may lose the arms race to FIFA out of the gate. You have one chance to leave an impression. I don't blame it on the good times or blame it on the bad times. I blame it on the boogie. Exactly, the collective hope is that it plays amazing. We just won't have much to do. Fingers crossed, as always. And even that, though, if it doesn't play amazingly, there's still more scope for evolution than there has been before, which is interesting. You know, I'm asking kind of old-fashioned gamer, but that's just how I see it. I even bought the PS5 controller mobile phone holder thing. I did the same thing too, but mine didn't work, and I haven't touched it since. I don't even know what it is. I think it's downstairs. All EA have done with FIFA is change game modes with the same broken gameplay and get put on a pedestal. Konami overhaul everything, try to freshen it up, and PES get slated. People will accept mediocrity from EA, but not from Konami. I think it's actually not really true, because EA gets a lot of stick. EA people don't accept mediocrity from EA either. The issue is that you are obviously from the PES side of things more than the FIFA side of things. I know you will say that you play both games, but you spend more time in PES streams and in PES communities and in PES discords rather than FIFA ones. And I've seen from a lot of our outreach and general research that from my general contacts that a lot of people aren't happy with EA or FIFA anyway. The difference is a lot of PES people at the moment think FIFA is exceptional, and a lot of FIFA people think, oh, what Pez is doing is groundbreaking, but it's echo chambers. Your echo chamber might give you an opinion that someone else in a different echo chamber doesn't, and that's essentially what I'm kind of getting at in here. Is there's a lot of echoing about Pez being shit, Pez not looking great, the trailer not being good or whatever. And like I said, that's all opinions. Everyone's opinion is valid, some more so than others, in my opinion. But what it comes down to on the pitch, that's the real thing. And if it's not good enough, then just play something else, and then it will have to get good enough. Mr. T says, this popcorn is really good. Exactly. So much for a 5-minute conversation on this anyway. I still have got one more article to go through as well. I have FIFA 22 beta, but I cannot talk about it. I will when I can, release date. But now I have to buy combs, so the rest of this from the recording. Thank you very much, Lake. I appreciate you trying to stick around and checking back in on demand. Love you, Lake. Don't fall off the bike. I do find the UFL and Gold game stuff intriguing. Both are getting way more positivity at the moment than the evidence has shown. We really haven't seen anything of them as yet to be hyped. Until I see and play it, I don't have an opinion. Do you know what? I obviously I'm involved with the social media stuff for eFootball, and it's interesting to see that if you speak to someone from the PES community, they will tell you that 90% of people are negative. They don't like what they've seen. I will tell you that the PES community does not speak for, like, and I say the PES community in terms of the community, the hardcore community, the fans, the vocal communities. They do not speak for all of the game player base, and that, like, if they say 90% of, like I just put there, 90% of FIFA players hate the gameplay. Someone could go 90% of PES guys dislike the stuff that they've seen. The stats don't mirror that. If ever, I won't say all. I was going to say the stats don't always mirror that. If you think 90% of people don't like it, 90% of people in your echo chamber don't like it. That's not. There you go. I mean, Mr. T is actually saying the exact same words. There you go. You said, I didn't even see this. You say 90% like you have all the facts. You don't. It might seem like 90% in your echo chamber. I guarantee it's not. That's the point I was making. Didn't even notice that you'd said that. Like 90% of your echo chamber will say this is the worst thing that's ever happened to video games. This is the worst thing ever. I guarantee you, not 90% in it, I 100% can guarantee you, I can't give you evidence and I can't give you stats, but take my word for it, that what your echo chamber says is not representative of the full player base. And that's kind of where it all comes from, is just try it. Play it. If you don't like it, then give it a little bit more time and then try it again. When new content comes in, try it at that point in time, because you don't speak for 90% of people surveyed who bothered to respond. Who is most likely to respond? People are unhappy. Exactly. But that's it. This isn't. I'm not talking from surveys. There's all sorts of deep sentiment analysis that can be done, and you'd be surprised that it's obviously large numbers enough for it to be significant to be seen, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's for the whole world. But like you say, if the people that are most likely to respond are the people who are unhappy, using that logic, that's true logic, by the way, you're more likely to leave a negative review than a positive review. Facts. It's human nature. You want to kick off, but if you've enjoyed it, oh well, they know. But if that is the case, then surely it's because the stats that I've seen would say across multiple years as well, multiple different games, the stats that I've seen will show that what the hardcore community think isn't representative of the entire player base. And if that's only the negative ones, then surely it would actually it's less. Yeah, I can't think of the words. It's not as impactful as it is if that's the case. I mean, obviously stats don't show that. I'm just obviously using it to play devil's advocate kind of stuff. But yeah, the hardcore community do not speak for the global community of any title. So take everything with a pinch. But the only thing that matters, doesn't matter if it's your echo chamber, doesn't matter if it's the global player base, doesn't matter what it is. The only thing that matters to you and your gameplay is your opinion. If everyone tells you the game is exceptional and you pick it up and you don't like it, you're like, okay, well, I just don't like it. Well, don't play it then. It's the same thing with films and everything like that. Some people will tell you a film's good and you can watch it and it's shit. And I just don't, I'm not. My Alexa just made noise. So yeah, just try it, play it. If you don't like it, just just leave it. Come back to it more than ever. You have more reason for that. The thing with annual releases is it's probably not going to change too much in its life cycle. A free-to-play game has much more scope for that. Not that they can just revamp it every month, but they have more scope. They have more freedom to make changes if they're not just hamstrung by a completely new branch of content every 12 months. Save John Homelake. I'll try it free after all. If I don't like it, I will move on to FIFA or something else. If I like it, happy days. Life is too short to worry, stress about a football game too much. Exactly. Well, there's multiple choices. There's PES and there's FIFA. Well, there's eFootball and there's FIFA. There's Gold's Game and UFL as well, eventually, however many years down the line. So there will be options. Just at the moment, people are riding a wave. So just make your own decisions off that. I'm happy enough for people to ride a wave, be it positive or negative. Just obviously be open-minded. You can get involved with the wave. Just make your own decisions based off of your own hands-on stuff. It's easy enough to get swept up with positivity and negativity. Easy it is. One thing I will not say, what I will say though, is I keep seeing people saying there's a fine line between constructive criticism and being toxic. There is not a fine line between constructive criticism and being toxic. There is not a fine line between the two. There is not. There is a very significant difference between constructive criticism and being toxic. A very significant difference. And anyone that's worked in video games, social media, content creation will know that there is a huge difference between that. And a lot of people will use constructive criticism as a guise for toxicity, which there is a difference between the two there. Definitely, for sure. But the easiest way of doing that is just to actually be constructive, to be balanced, to go, do you know what? Okay, that's not what I'm looking forward to, but I'll try it. I'll wait and see, or whatever, rather than continuing and then attacking other people that have alternative opinions, which is why, like in our Discord, I'm saying, I'll just say it again. I will try it. I mean, people may be negative. Okay, that's fine. But I'm not going to change my opinion to suit yours. I'm going to wait and form my own opinion. And that's what we should all do here. And that is the end of that. Nice. Enough. Let's move on. One final story before we wrap things up. Shout out to Iceman for shaping our show by sharing this story with us on our Discord. The final bit of news for the day is from Tech Radar. Nintendo Switch Online might actually be worth subscribing to soon. Ooh, this is written by Adam Vjestica at Tech Radar, and it says Game Boy and Game Boy Color games could be on the way. Nintendo Switch Online could receive a massive shot in the arm as Game Boy and Game Boy Color games are tipped to come to Nintendo's subscription service in the near future. Game Boy and Game Boy Color games were first rumoured to be coming to Nintendo Switch Online in 2019, thanks to a data mine that revealed 4 emulators were hiding inside Nintendo's NES app. One of the emulators, Hyoko, would reportedly enable Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles to run on the Nintendo Switch. Let me just grab my brew 1 second. Speaking on the Nate the Hate podcast, known insider Nate Drake believes that Nintendo could add Game Boy and Game Boy Color games to the Switch Online service in the next few weeks. However, it's unclear how many titles will hit the service initially or whether they will be drip-fed into Nintendo's growing retro library, much like NES and SNES games are. Nice, we good coffee. Sources at Nintendo Life have also confirmed that Game Boy and Game Boy Color titles should hit the Nintendo's online service really soon, though no specific date was given. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Game Boy Advance games or Nintendo DS will be coming to the service anytime soon. The Wii U offer titles from both handhelds via its virtual console service. Even though you need a Nintendo Switch Online membership to play online, Nintendo's service isn't very appealing, despite its cheaper price point. For starters, the online infrastructure on Nintendo's system leaves a lot to be desired. You can't send messages or use party chat on Nintendo Switch, and games that support voice chat are often handled by the dedicated Nintendo Switch Online app. Nintendo's wonderful virtual console service, which was one of its best bits about the Wii, still hasn't been replicated either. Instead, Nintendo has a library of NES and SNES titles available, with questionable additions being added to the service at an agonizingly slow pace. In contrast, both PS Plus and Xbox Live are required to play online on PS5 and Xbox Series X, but Sony and Microsoft give away multiple games every month for users to download and keep as long as they're subscribed. Discounts are offered on various titles. The addition of Game Boy and Game Boy Color games won't address the problems with the Nintendo Switch Online app, but they will at least provide more value to those who are subscribed to Nintendo's service. He is hoping Nintendo doesn't take an eternity to add the games that people want. So there you go. If you have a Switch and you're looking for things to do, then, well, you can step back into the past. If you're a fan of Game Boy / Game Boy Color games, they are potentially on their way to the console. This was written 2 days ago on Tech Radar. Obviously, take it with a pinch. All humours right now. The source is Nate Drake from the Nate the Hate podcast. Don't know how legitimate he is as a source, but it's nice to see. It's nice to see. It doesn't change too much for me though. Like I've said before, I'm looking for new experiences in gaming all the time. So sometimes new experiences could be modern takes on old experiences. I don't just want to revisit old experiences all the time. The only Pokemon games I'm interested in are Red and Blue and Yellow. So yeah, I can play those on the Switch if we do get Game Boy and Game Boy Color games come to the Switch online service. But still, I have a Game Boy in my loft. If I wanted to play that, I'd just do that. So it's nice. It's good. But Nintendo, do more. Give us more, please. Thank you. Thank you. Nice. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the show. Thank you, everyone that has stuck around. I appreciate you being here. Let me give you a recap of the stories. We started off with Marvel's Midnight Suns. A new trailer for that. Looks good. Excited to play more. Comes out March 2022. We'll no doubt get a lot more news before it releases then. Much sooner, though, Monday could be the release date for Battlefield 2042's beta, if an Italian website is to be believed. An Italian retailer, that is. They leaked the date. It has been removed now, but that's what they said. The beta could be coming next week. Elsewhere, CD Projekt Red can't say with any certainty that Cyberpunk 2077 or The Witcher 3's next-gen updates will be coming this year. eFootball launches on September the 30th and has 9 teams. Plus, there is more stuff to be coming in the autumn. Yes, that's what it says. The first big update is due in the autumn, according to the tagline on this article from VGC. And then finally, Nintendo Switch Online might actually be worth subscribing to soon, as Game Boy and Game Boy Color games could be on the way. And that is the end. I appreciate everyone that stuck around. A long show. It's always the case when we talk about eFootball. We are passionate people. It's so good to see the passion. It genuinely is. It genuinely is. I like to have these discussions. I used to be able to have these discussions, obviously, when I was a member of the community that didn't have official links. For those that may have forgotten or don't know, I used to be Graham from PezFan rather than Graham from Jelly Media and Ice Cream Uploads. So I used to be a community writer. I used to go to press and media events, just like Mr. T did when we were just younglings in the video games industry that didn't have official links to any video games. So we've been there and we've seen it for many years. So I get the passion, I get the frustrations, I get everything that everyone has, but I'm an old man. I've been through it all. Cigarette, first time, new here, nice. So yeah, I kind of been through it all. I'm just trying to offer some woosah. It'll all be good. Might not be good now. Might not be good in a month. Might not be good in 6 months, but it'll be good. It'll be good. Life is good. And if not, then we'll play something else. Yeah, nice. I appear to have missed a good debate. It was basically me just saying woosah. Lunches September the 30th. It better not be. Lunch should be in like now. I need the lunch now. Lunches on all launches. I'm just old now. Snap. Yeah, exactly. Touche. But yeah, I appreciate everyone that stuck around. Thank you very much. And that wraps up our eFootball and all of the rest of the news discussions. I am going to drop off now. I'm going to do some scoopy bits to get this uploaded to our other podcasty services. But I will be jumping back on with some PUBG. So if you're not doing anything, if you want to play some games, you want to just lurk around for the afternoon while you're working from home or not working from home, whatever, then yeah, feel free to join me. Twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. We're playing PUBG right here, right now. If you are here and you have been lurking, you've just been in for the Pez news, or maybe you were brought in for Marvel's Midnight Suns or whatever, do feel free to hit the follow button if you haven't done already. Before we disappear, though, I want to remind you that we will be back not only shortly with PUBG, but in the morning with the next episode, the final episode of The Scoop for the week. We do The Scoop each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish, and you can help shape our show by sharing the news with us, which is exactly what Iceman did today. So the final news article, the Nintendo Switch Online, might be worth subscribing to soon. Article that was shared by Iceman on our Discord. All we need from you guys, if you want to shape the show, is a link to a news article. You can give us your thoughts and impressions. You don't have to, but we will definitely give you our thoughts and impressions should it make the news on the very next next day, which obviously, as I mentioned, will be 10 a.m. ish tomorrow. Nice, nice. Shout out to Madge for dropping all of the links in the Discord. In the chat, the socials links, ice cream uploads across the board, the Discord link, and the merch. If you want to get involved with some merch, on the subject of merch, we are giving away one of these jerseys on Monday. So if you want to be in a chance with winning that, just do what Lake did and make sure you are subscribed before we do the draw on Monday, and you're in the Discord, and you could be winning a chance of winning some stuff. Nice, nice. I am not going to drop a raid though, because I'm going to be coming back imminently. So have yourselves a lovely day, people. If you're watching and listening on YouTube, we appreciate you for sticking around. But have a good one and stay frosty.